Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Dr. Joseph Marbach, the new provost at Salle University. Welcome, Dr. Marbach.
Thank you.
So we just showed you a little clip of students' perception of what a provost is. Obviously, they don't know very much about your job description. Can you tell us what you do here?
Sure. Well, I'm the Chief Academic Officer for the university, so I'm essentially responsible for the curriculum that the students are taking ultimately. So it gets reported, through their professors, their chairs, their deans, and then ultimately to me. So it's that kind of hierarchy or chain of command.
Okay. And you are an alumnus of LaSalle, correct?
I am, class of '83.
Okay. So how was coming back and kind of you're the boss for your teachers that you used to be a student for? How is that?
Sure. Well, that's been kind of my running joke with a lot of the faculty. I tell them now, be nice to your students because you never know when one of them is going to come back and be their boss. So, but it's been a great experience. I mean, that was the appeal to me when I applied to the job. I was very happy at Seton Hall University, where I came from. I was Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and we were doing some exciting things. But the appeal of coming back to your alma mater was just too irresistible, and so I applied for the position, and the rest is history.
Right. Now, you weren't even looking for another job when the provost position came available. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I wasn't on the job market. We had a number of initiatives, as I pointed out, and I wanted to try to see them through. But I was intrigued by LaSalle and came here for the interview, and I was very impressed with the changes that have gone on in the last few years. It really is, as I've told the faculty, an historic time in the life of this university. And the leadership of Brother Mike and the other vice presidents is really, and former provost Nigro, has really set up the university, I think, for the future. And I wanted to be part of it, so that was the real attraction for me.
Oh, what kind of changes have you seen since? I know it's a kind of a long gap to look at between when you were here and when you're coming back, but are there any big changes that you wanted to note? Well,
certainly the physical changes are very impressive. The expansion into West Campus and the Germantown Hospital site, which is now where we have the School of Nursing, right, and some other offices. The South Campus, this building, the Communication Center, has been a great addition to the campus. And so just in the physical sense, the expansion of campus has been very dramatic. And then just in terms of academic, the expansion of graduate programs, branching out into doctoral programs in psychology, for example, the doctoral program in nurse practitioner, some of the more recent advances are just amazing to me, and some of the excitement that I see generated, the Explorer connection, and the influx of new faculty and new ideas that are springing up. I mean, this is really a very vibrant place. It was almost 30 years ago when I graduated, but to see it continue is really very exciting. So, my battery is fully charged. I'm ready to go.
All right. Oh, you had mentioned that while you're at Seton Hall, you were the most quoted faculty member, right?
Yeah, at different points, especially in the last 4 years, the university public relations department would run the numbers, and I was, last year in particular, because we had a gubernatorial election, I was quoted over 300 times by newspapers or radio or television.
Okay.
And they calculated that to be worth over $1 million in free advertisement. So.
Are you going to continue that kind of relationship with the press since your job position has changed now? I
hope to. Certainly, I'm less in touch with what's going on in New Jersey because of my focus here, but I still have contacts in the New Jersey media, and that's been my specialty. So I have been quoted since arriving at Seton Hall on a couple of occasions. I've appeared on New Jersey Public Television on 2 occasions. So I hope to keep involved in that side of it, although I can see that it's been diminished, but that happens during the summer. It'll ramp up with the election cycle coming up in November.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of changes are you thinking about for LaSalle? I know you haven't had a lot of time as provost. You just came in August, but what kind of changes are you looking for? You said you wanted to hit the ground running.
Yeah, I think in looking at what's been going on, I think one of the things that we as a faculty need to do is take a hard look at some of our existing programs. I told you I was very excited because of all the new programs that have been developing, but I think what we also need to do is take a step back and look at the current programs that we have and institute a systematic program review process so that every 5 years or so we're looking at our existing programs and we're making sure that our programs are the 3 R's, that they're relevant to our students, that they're rigorous in the curriculum that they're teaching, and that they're robust in that the number of students that are participating in these programs. So I think those are the basic criteria we need to look at in each of our academic programs and really move forward. So I've been working with the deans, with some of the chairs in arts and sciences to really develop an instrument by which departments can look at their programs and determine what resources they need to be relevant, robust, and rigorous, and examine, do we need to continue to teach some programs? They may be out of date. We may need to move on.
Mm-hmm. Now, you, as you saw on the video, not many people know what a provost is. So do you have any kind of ideas as to how to get your name out to the students so that they know more than they do now about what you do? Well,
I hope to. I've been accepting lots of invitations to meet with different groups. Just the other day, I gave a welcome to the multicultural and international students. So I wanted to get in front of that group of students to say, hi, if you see me on campus, stop me. I've given welcomes to the ADP students and the AEP students, met the honors students. So all the different student groups, I'm trying to get out and meet them and be available to them, to welcome them. And I've had actually students that have come up and said, hi, Dr. Marbach, I'm so-and-so from this meeting earlier today. So that's been very great. And I honestly don't know who the students were, but just to be approached by them is great. And, you know, and I'm very appreciative to you and the communication department to invite me to come down and participate in this program. I hope to be a frequent guest, or as frequent as you'll have me. I'll make time in my schedule to appear. That's great. I mean, we would love to have you. Is there anything else that you wanted? Are you like going to go to any programming? Anything else that you were thinking to kind of change the perception that we have of the whole academic side of the college? I do want to present what we're doing. I met with the leader of student government, and so we've had that preliminary meeting. I want to try to set up a student advisory board so that there's a more formal role for students to present their ideas and their concerns. I had one of those when I was Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, so we worked with student senators in the Student Government Association there. I found that is very valuable to learn what's on the minds of students, what issues they're dealing with, and how we can address them. And particularly from the academic side, I've asked the student government officers, they're developing a survey, and I asked them would they include something on the core curriculum, because one of the issues that we'll also be dealing with is revising the core and perhaps even developing a whole new core. So I want some student input into you know, what they're getting out of the core, what they need to get out of the core, and how integrated the core is into their majors so that it's seamless. And the student government said, sure, we'll jump on that and include that. So I'm looking forward to that kind of input from the students as well. Oh, okay. Well, just as kind of a wrap up, I know that you said that LaSalle was very formative in your life. If you had one thing to say to LaSalle students, being an alumnus and now coming back and working at the university, some advice that you would give them, what would it be? Well, I would advise them to take advantage of different opportunities now. This is a great period in their lives as undergraduate students in particular, and I'll address the undergraduate students, that this is your chance to explore. I mean, we are the explorers, and really do that, take it literally. I just gave a presentation to Brother Mike's class on vocation and the role of the university in fostering vocation, and I told the students there that the university and a Catholic university and LaSalle University in particular are great places to learn what gives you joy in life, what your special talents are, and how you can serve others. And if you put the three together, you've discovered a vocation. This place is a great place for that type of exploration, that type of discovery about what you can do with your life down the line. It's not just about careers, but it's about what gives you joy in life and how you can contribute that to society. You can do that here at LaSalle.
Okay, well, thank you very much for being on the show with us.
Thank you, Christine.
Coming up next, we'll have some more stories from your news update after this break.